behind him. He's got Fraser Watson and Gordon Thomas in the studio with him. Evening, gents.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening. How are you getting on?
I'm very good. You?
I'm very well, thank you. Interesting first hour. If you missed it, you can listen back at purewestradio.com/catch-up to hear from the likes of Steve Martin from Milford Rugby. We've just been listening to Finton Godkin about the Ras Dewi Sant. And we've also, my mind's gone blank, who else? With the JD Cymru roundup, Zach Jones, and also Liam Gadd of Narberth as they continue their unbeaten run in that championship. Fraser, we're going to talk rugby a little bit later on. We're going to start off with the football because there wasn't much going on. But first of all, you just caught up with Finton there. Have you warmed up?
Still thawing out. It was a brutal conditions for a coast path race, but that's what you sign up for, isn't it? On the coast path, and we know it's Wales in March. And the beauty of that event is we've had gorgeous sunshine and a dry coast path, and we've had Armageddon out there. Saturday was the latter, but it's another moment of realization that came to the weekend today. I had an email through saying congratulations. I thought, what's this? And it was Llanelli 10k from last week to tell me that I'd won the over 40s category though, which was just a harrowing reminder of where I'm at. But there we are. I'm still going.
Reality. Although it comes with some perks.
Yes, yeah. Free entry. I should hope so too. 30 quid to drive that way.
Free entry for more pain.
Yeah, good. How was your weekend? Did you stay nice and warm, or were you out and about on the touchline?
Yeah, I did get out and about. As we all know, this torrential rain came down Saturday morning again, and we'd had it all week. So it was to the 3G and 4G surfaces we had to go to try and find some action. Well, I did see a bit of Merlins Bridge won 3-1 against Kilgetty in the West Wales Cup quarter-final. So Joe Lee had a couple of goals there and blotted his copybook and got sent off right at the end. Bridge finishing with 10 men. But it's a good win for them. Obviously, then I nipped over to Caerelyn, Ysgol Caerelyn 3G pitch, and the only game to survive the Manderwood Pembrokeshire League was in Division 1, where Neyland had moved their game against Hakin there. I think they may have regretted going their place. They lost 8-1 in the end.
I was going to ask, the teams, obviously waterlogged pitches can take the option if there's a spare slot on these 4G to book them at late notice.
Yes, they are available. I think they're about 100 quid a pop, to be honest with you, but they are available. And with the lighter nights coming, and if the weather is still like it is, I suppose you could get two, maybe 3 games on there if it's viable.
Yeah. Do you think, you say viable, how sustainable and buoyant are these clubs to start thinking about, we'll move away off our own pitch and play these games where we can?
Well, sides are doing it, aren't they? So it's certainly in their thoughts. And, look, I've been a bit critical in the past in Pembrokeshire football and rugby. I think we call games off too easily for weather, but I will say that the footing at the moment and the grass and the rain, sideways rain even as late as today, wasn't there? And more came in this week. So you understand teams doing it, and to be fair, like Good said, Neyland moves. They might regret it now, but they maybe thought the change of circumstances might help them catch Hakin on the hop. But they're playing Hakin at the right time. You'd think Hakin on the back of that defeated Clary, but that is a damaging defeat from Neyland. Now you look at the points and they're not out of it, but the amount of games in hand Carew and Kilgetty have above them, I'd be surprised if they were able to stay up from here, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's looking like Fishguard and Neyland are favourites for the drop.
And ironically, Goodwick went to the seaside and that was on.
Incredible, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
They had a good day at the seaside as well, Fraser.
Yeah, so of course that was a West Wales Cup game going on there. So as you mentioned, a good trip to the seaside.
Yeah, Reece Darling, I think, with a couple of goals, wasn't it? They won 4-1. They always said it before. They're so well vested when it comes to these away trips in the West Wales Cup. No, they're not phased by it, and it's good to see. Now we've got two Pembrokeshire sides in the semi-final, Merlins Bridge and Merlins Bridge and Goodwick, and fair play to Bridge, because I thought, I was disappointed with their form early in the season after what they did last year. They seem to be building something. Expected more from them, but they have got something going in this West Wales Cup, and they got pedigree, of course, good, haven't they? They won it under Matthew Divry in 2019. So they're in a semi-final now. Goodwick in a semi-final. Milford have Penlan home this Saturday. I really hope that's on.
Hopefully that'll. We were talking off air, but if I was involved with Milford United, I'd make sure we play on the 3G pitch if they can't play at Marble Hall. I'd make them travel from Swansea, definitely, instead of going to their backyard to try and win up there, because it'll be tough. It'll be tough.
Yeah, an opportunity at home. Definitely you don't want to be going there, certainly.
And they're on their own momentum at the moment as well, aren't they? They're performing very well in that division.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
they're going well.
And if you look at the other side, actually, in the final four, the name escapes me now. Looked them up earlier, 7th in the Swansea Premier League. They actually managed 7 games this season, which is shows the problems they've been having with weather too. But they look very undercooked.
So should we dare say it? Are Bridge going to draw Goodwick in the semi-final in price? And then we'll have maybe a semi-final on the Bridge.
The idealist in me would like. It would, depending on whether Milford got there, if there are only 2 Pembrokeshire teams for them to be drawn apart, obviously, and play in the final. But let's not predict that. We've had, of course, a few old Pembrokeshire semi-finals in the last couple of years, haven't we? So, I mean, Goodwick will fancy it now. Out of the Pembrokeshire teams, they're obviously strong favourites when you look at domestic form. But Bridge and Milford, if they can both be in there, would be terrific. We'd have a guaranteed finalist.
A guaranteed finalist, and that's a trip away, isn't it?
.com.
Swansea.com stadium.
Yeah, and the Bridge will be happy with Jason joining us in the comments last week, saying that because of the weather and the pitch, and they hadn't played for a number of weeks, and that they were concerned about Kilgetty coming. Kilgetty had a great season last year as well.
Yeah, the Bridge's bogey side. I believe they've drawn with them this season.
And Paul Thomas in charge now. We should mention that.
And also, Paul Thomas has taken the reins. He's got a bit of experience playing for the Bridge at the first and second team level, so. He's got good pedigree as well, so we wish him well. Hopefully, you just never know in the cup, as we just spoke now.
Joe Leahy back regular, is it? Yeah, I know there was a slight fallout last season. Obviously, he came out of the first team, but a fully fit and focused Joe Leahy is an asset to any side. He's a goal scorer, isn't he? Shame he had that late rate card. I hope that the ban doesn't work out, that it coincides with the West Wales semi-final. But look, to have Leahy back as a major critical player when they won that cup double we just talked about. To see 2 goals in senior cup finals scored in the West Wales Cup final they won. He is. He's up there with talent-wise the best strikers we've seen in Pembrokeshire in the last decade, 20 years maybe.
Yeah,
even.
100%.
Hasn't perhaps always applied it as well as he could have done, but he's still a talented player.
And these cup runs are based on these talented individuals, and they've got the whole team around them. You've got Hakin in the Division 1 having 2 players on hat tricks. You've got Rhys Darling scoring again for Goodwick. There really is some top caliber.
Big match players, and you need them. You need them in this competition. And Rhys Darling's certainly one of them as well. Mention him, and I think he scored the win in the West Wales Cup final before, and he's done it so many times in pressure games. And speaking of which, pressure game this weekend, isn't there?
Too right.
Goodwick.
It is. It's Goodwick at home against Hakin United. Hakin go there 1 point ahead in the league table, but I believe
haven't played 4 more games.
Exactly.
I mean, you think if Hakin do win it, it opens the gap to 4 points. I cannot see Hakin win anyone else but Goodwick win the title from there. But I guess at least it forces Goodwick to have to win at least 2 of those games in hand and makes it semi-interesting. If Goodwick win, then you might as well wrap up the league now and give them the trophy. As far as I'm concerned, it's all over. But it'll be feisty. It'll be fiery. It always is.
There's always something comes out of those games. Obviously, there's always a little story.
Be more competitive than this. Sheffield United nil Arsenal 2 after 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Wow.
Lucky Ben's not here. He'll be having kittens.
And then a touch on Haverford County we heard from Zach Jones. He signed a contract extension. He's at the Oggy Bridge Meadow Stadium for another 12 months. Another draw.
Yeah, I mean, Gordon mentioned they needed to go there and win against a Colwyn Bayside rock bottom. I felt that at first as well. But when you look in hindsight, the weather on Saturday, let alone the trip to North Wales, the Saturday morning kickoff, and more importantly, the fact Penlan then went and lost at home to Pontypridd. Now, Pontypridd's position is a little bit misleading. They've had 9 points off. Penlan themselves have had 6. That's not Haverfordwest's fault, but that has aided Haverfordwest massively. So they actually gained a point from those behind them as opposed to losing ground. So, I didn't see the game. I can't comment too much on the performance. So whilst on paper, the result might have looked a little underwhelming, that should be a good weekend from.
And they actually play Penlan on Friday evening, I'm afraid. So that's a massive game. That is. It really is.
And they're going to have to step up and actually score. And
yeah, they were a little bit unlucky on Saturday. They had a goal disallowed with a header. Kai Whitmore header, ball whipped in, got a head to it, and it was ruled out for offside. Yeah, it's just one of those things that's questionable, but they didn't get the points where they should have, really, and this has been the problem. I think Tony will be concerned the cutting edge isn't quite right there. Hopefully it will be Friday evening when they play Pennybont, but they're going to have to step it up.
It's the proper challenge coming their way, and say Pontypridd doing very well. And Zach mentioned that they've got a bit of a bone to pick with Aberystwyth as well. So I know we say it every week, but it's not an easy run in and securing that 7th place. But the results going their way with other matches at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and teams being deducted points has helped them. Yeah,
a lot.
I mean, that's worth in the discussion. You can't. That's not Hafstra's fault, by the way, and the onus is on the clubs to adhere to regulations, no matter how complicated they are.
Yeah,
but it's happening so many times in the Welsh League and Cymru Premier. You know, whether there's a communication flaw there, I don't know, but you don't want it plaguing leagues too much, really.
No. Stephen Price be in touch. 3-0 Arsenal already.
Yeah, that's and we've just had the 15-minute mark, so
there'll be a rugby score in a minute. And there was some rugby going on. You caught up with Steve Martin, Milford Haven. He took it very well, actually, I thought, and hearing from Amelia.
The agonising loss. Milford have done very well this season. You know, that they've, me and Gordon have both seen Milford sides go up in the past and capitulate, for want of a better word. They haven't liked it in the higher league. They haven't liked the travelling. This side haven't done that. They've competed very well, actually, and they belong in that Division 2, that's for sure. But like Steve said, if you look at their last 3 results, I mean, we're going to tell me a vital win for them in the title race as well. They're still chasing St. Clair's. The top 2 play each other Saturday, so they needed that. They can make up ground on someone at least. But you look at Milford's last 3 games now: Mumbles, St. Clair's, Tenby, single score defeats. You know, so they're as good as anyone in that league on their day, but they're not, as Steve mentioned, quite getting over the line. He does feel once they do, then the wins will come. But no, heartbreaking for them. But
heartbreaking. He saw that as the catalyst, didn't he? As to what could have been. But he'll have to wait another week for that. And any other standout performances from the rugby over the weekend?
Pembroke winning at Neyland down to bare bones at the moment. More injuries for them.
11-5.
In fairness, a lot of the rugby went ahead despite the pitches. In contrast to the football, St. David's played at home at Llanymburther. I know that match was touch and go, and Gordon tells you St. David's pitch is never touch and go. But Llanymburther, I'm glad to see at least competing. It looked at one point, this was actually a 3rd time this match had been rearranged because they couldn't field the side. It looked at one point that they wouldn't finish this season. They've got their act together in terms of numbers. I think they did make it difficult. They were 7-5 up at some point, but Saints in good form. Ran in 6 tries, another win. Would back them to beat Neyland on Saturday down in Neyland, given their injury problems. That would take them to 8 wins, still with 2 games to go, which is a good season for them. You know, but Larne again in that, obviously that WR Bowl quarter final off, I think for the 2nd or 3rd time. Such a frustrating season.
I think they've only played 9 games this season.
They've got a fixture backlog coming up.
Yeah, huge.
That's going to put a bit of pressure on that squad, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you guys for the roundup of the weekend. How did your team do? By all means, get in touch. We're live on the Facebook. Sorry about the dodgy angle that you're looking at from me actually on the video. We've had Donna get in touch, Stephen Price, and in the wings we've got Joe, Marie, and Keris going to be talking street football. And Gordon, you were saying that I wonder if it's the same street football as you used to play.
Original street football I played, actually on the street where there weren't many cars, and we smashed a few windows as well along the time. But there you go.
Yeah, so we're going to take a moment. We will come back, and before the end of the show, we're going to be looking at the news broke last week about the Croftons going pro before the Olympics, and we weren't sure why. There's been a bit of an update in that situation.
Interesting one.
Yeah. Looking at indoor cricket with Neyland not going to Lords, and Craig Maxwell is currently walking the Pembrokeshire Coast Path with the match ball for the Six Nations. So we're going to touch on the reasons why that is, and what the Pembroke Dock Harlequins are doing to support him as well, one of their own. So we're going to take a moment and we'll come back with Joe, Marie and Keris. You're listening to the Pure West Sports Show with Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors.
Pure West Sports Show, sponsored by Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors, a client